Ovilasari, and I'm so excited to deliver the motion today because the motion that I'm going to deliver right now it's really intriguing. It's about the house would pay morbidly obese people to lose weight. The honorable judges and audiences, this is the house of Prime Minister, and this house believes that the house would pay morbidly obese people to lose weight. Ladies and gentlemen, currently the government is expanding access to weight loss services and might start to offering people with financial rewards in order for maintaining healthy lifestyle, and it's a part to against obesity. In England, for example, the Department of Health and Social Care is giving 70 million sponsoring to the NHS and local council to the to the 7,000 people who are considered as overweight or obese people, so that they can go to the lost weight management courses such as Weight Watchers or Slimming World, or maybe to work with a professional coach to help those overweight or obese people to maintain their weight. But before we go deeper to the argument, the speaker would like to declare the definition of the motion today, which is the house would pay morbidly obese people to lose weight. The speaker is going to break down one by one the definition that has previously stated and then make it into one unity to make a proper definition. First of all, the house refers to the government, or to be exact, the Prime Minister. Pay is to give some money to someone for something that we want to buy or for provided services. And then morbid obesity is a situation in which there is a very high accumulation in fat in the body, so that the weight body is far from the ideal size. We know that morbid obesity not only affects physical form but also can cause has the possibility to cause other serious health problems such as diabetes and hypertension. Individuals can be considered as morbidly obese people if their weight is more than 18 up to 100 pounds above their ideal body weight. A BMI above 40 indicates that people may suffer from morbid obesity and therefore candidate as bariatric surgery. And then lost weight is the condition when the body weight is decreased, resulting from either voluntary such as diet or exercise, and then maybe resulting from involuntary such as illness. So the definition of the motion today that the house would pay morbidly obese people to lose weight is that the government will give financial incentive to those people who consider it as morbidly obese people, so that they can lose their weight and they would have developed healthy eating. And then the process on when it's proper to give the financial incentive can be applied before they do the program, or many people would recommend that the financial incentive will be given after the weight loss target timeline is accomplished. To make it clear, the speaker would like to be put it in a context. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that morbid obesity is a serious health problem that can interfere basic physical functions such as breathing and walking. Morbidly obese people are at the greater risk for experiencing serious illness such as diabetes, hypertension, GERD, heart disease, and even cancer. To have more energy or to be more healthy, that's what people feel when they start to lose their weight. The problem and the fact is that it is really difficult for morbidly obese people to lose their weight. Truly, it is so difficult for them to slim down. Losing weight is such a fraud with so many challenges that others may never imagine. Surgical procedures such as gastric bypass surgery or gastric ban seems like are the only option available for significantly losing amount of weight. And that case brings us to the conclusion that the obesity epidemic cost us both financially, both physically and financially, and that's the reason behind, that's the idea behind that why we need to pay people, especially that considered as morbidly obese people, to lose their weight. Because even if they choose to go to the gym, basically morbidly obese people need a professional coach, or professional help to accompany them so that they can control the weight loss progress. People weight is a reflection of how much they eat and how active they are. People these days has burn fat because they consuming a lot of calories but burning fewer. This term leads us to the short conclusion that weight problem bring huge costs, both medical and financial. The government around the world are trying to figure out how to tackle this crisis and how they could afford to tackle it. We know when it comes to financial problem, it's literally beyond the capacity of any individual, and they involve the so different responsibility from civic even to political responsibility. Those who consider as morbidly obese people, sometimes they really depends on collective action that help them. We know that, don't forget that in some countries the phrase pay more, weigh more, wait more, pay more is real. The morbidly obese people have to pay more for health care, and by applying this policy, by applying this action, it is considered believed that it will be so beneficial and be so helpful, be so effective for those who consider it as morbidly obese people to support them. A number of studies have shown that financial incentive, when it's directly linked to the achievement of a goal, it can be remarkably effective in getting people to change their behavior even when the potent addiction are involved. The goals of the program are directed and applied to everyone to motivate them to meet their personal own best and then to lose amount of weight and to do so in the most sustainable way long term. And we want to make sure that the government does really care about the people, especially in terms of healthcare. Everyone knows that it takes a tough effort for medical, even surgical remedy to get help in the most chronic obesity. Some people can easily refuse or decline second helping of chocolate cake because remembering moderation today may someday lead to the better health, but many of us need extra motivation even for grabbing our running shoes and then forget the second thread. And there is a growing consensus that when it comes to losing weight, there is a big time motivator can be a hardcore task, and that's why money, either getting it or losing it, can make a significant difference for someone's losing weight to be succeed. It is clearly obvious that money can motivate everyone to lose their weight. Now on to argue the reliability and credibility of the house, the speaker would like to provide some evidences. In 2008 study published in American Medical Association, the research found that people who were given financial incentive to lose their weight were more likely, 5 times more likely, to meet their dieting goals than those who didn't have cash motivation. And this research, among others, have inspired 2 web-based pages called Diet Bed and Healthy Weight, which use the same strategy with giving financial incentive to persuade people to meet their own goals, to meet their weight goals. And another study revealed that giving a cash incentive to eat healthily, it is the second most successful approach to support morbidly obese people to eat healthier. And then in some countries, this strategy also can be successful. For instance, in Peterborough, offering advice in travel and food, increase the cycling and walking activity by more than 20% and decrease the car use by 30%. In Saint-Jean, France, one of 100 towns in France have joined Obese. It is the aim of that program is to fight against obesity among children, and it decreased the proportion of the ones who were overweight or considered as morbidly obese people just by from 19% to 30.5% just a year later. To conclude, according to financial, humanitarian and health, this house is strongly believed that the house should unwilling to pay morbidly obese people to lose weight. It can reduce our own heart risk and it can take the pressure of the NHS. This funding will give extra motivation to people across the world who have the same goals to losing their weight as well. And we can see that the implication by applying this policy is significantly great. This long-term investment is really help people to, especially the one who considered as morbidly obese people, to give them a support to make a healthier choice. And that's why, because we see that this application of this policy is significantly great, is a really effective, useful and helpful for morbidly obese people. So that we once again would like to declare that we strongly believe that the house would pay morbidly obese people to lose their weight. There is a number of data that has proven that money can motivate everyone to lose their weight. Thank you. So yeah, that's all this video is about. Thank you so much for watching and goodbye.
Baby, are you coming for the ride?